News Update Coronavirus April 5, 2020. Note, this is a collaborative video made between Travel for All Fanpage and Knowledge of Coronavirus channel. Please respectfully welcome everyone. The following is the remarkable news most on April 5 as follows. 1. The United States has been entering important weeks of fierce battle against coronavirus. Updated 7:32 a.m. ET, April 5, 2020. According to Johns Hopkins University, with 1,344 new deaths reported on Saturday, the U.S. had the most deaths recorded in a single day. By early Sunday, the nationwide death toll had reached at least 8,503, with at least 312,245 people infected. In addition, U.S. officials have warned that the next 2 weeks will be very important in the fight to prevent the spread of coronavirus in the U.S. New York has become the epicenter of U.S. outbreak, with 114,174 confirmed cases and 3,565 deaths so far. The good news in the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Alex Azar, announced on April 3 that tens of millions of Americans without health insurance would receive free COVID-19 treatment if they became ill. 2. Spain surpassed Italy to become the largest epidemic region in Europe and the second largest in the world on April 5, with 130,759 confirmed cases. This is a sad news for Spain but has appeared a positive light. According to the Spanish Ministry of Health, the number of new deaths recorded in Spain as of April 4 is 674, down 135 from the 809 figure of April 3. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, on April 4, said he would ask Congress to extend a national blockade order for another 15 days, while disclosing that some production restrictions would be lifted after April 12 next. 3. In Italy, the country with the highest number of deaths from COVID-19 in Europe, the head of the Italian Civil Protection Agency, Angelo Borelli, said the number of patients in need of special care dropped by 74 on April 4. Mr. Borelli, this is the first time this number has decreased since the outbreak in Italy. By the end of April 4, there were 20,996 COVID-19 patients cured and discharged in Italy. In addition, 15,362 deaths have occurred, leaving only 88,274 positive cases in Italy, of which 3,994 are serious. 4. Despite severe unemployment, agriculture in France is lacking in workers because of blockade. Agriculture in France lacks heavy labor. The main reason is that French farmers have been hiring foreign workers for many years now. But workers from Spain, Poland and Romania, who account for 50% of seasonal workers during peak harvest weeks, are stuck at home because of the COVID-19 epidemic. A minister advisor told Le Point newspaper, France, that we have to and we are about to find a solution. Because if we do not pick fruits, do not harvest vegetables, do not sow wheat, the consequences, there will be no fruit jam in the fall, no canned food, no biscuits or cereals for breakfast. For the fishing industry, about 50% of the fishermen often eat collectively while all restaurants are closed. On 80 tons of fish were destroyed because there were no buyers. That's why even though France is in a blockade time, the French government still calls for workers to hold their ground and allow some markets to open. The government sent a circular to the governors asking them to open about 300 markets. 5. News of Russia. Moscow began to officially isolate itself. The Russian capital on March 30 officially implemented a self-isolation order to curb the spread of COVID-19. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin called on other regional governments to implement a similar epidemic prevention measure in Moscow. The application of strict new principles of self-isolation in Moscow also took place at the same time as the non-working week, but was still paid starting March 30, announced by Russian President Vladimir Putin last week. Every street in Moscow is found to be deserted after the non-essential shops including restaurants and cafes are closed. However, traffic still operates normally in the downtown area. 6. Vietnam news. The Ministry of Health of Vietnam has just announced one new COVID-19 patient, bringing the total number of cases nationwide to 241. Today is also the day with the least number of patients in nearly 1 month and the first day. No case reported from the community for more than 10 days. On April 5, one more patient was declared cured. The total number of patients cured to date is 91, accounting for 38% of all COVID-19 patients in Vietnam. 7. Experts call for caution in the use of hydroxychloroquine for COVID-19. In France, the public health agency Paris Hospitals, APHP, including 39 hospitals in Paris and the Île-de-France region, have seen protest against indiscriminate use. In addition, Dr. Charles Woller, general manager of Dinov, warned in the global health crisis caused by the current COVID-19 epidemic, if the pharmaceutical industry did not invest more, one day not far from the resistant virus, the drug will become out of control. 8. COVID epidemic 19 p.m. April 5, worldwide more than 1.2 million cases and 246,000 recovering cases. According to Worldometer's info, as of April 5, the total number of COVID-19 acute respiratory infections worldwide is 1,203,140. The number of deaths is 64,744, while the number of cases cured is 246,760 people. 9. Germany news. The number of new infections in Germany has dropped for the third day in a row, with more than 5,936 cases reported in the last 24 hours. The number of new cases in Germany has decreased for the third day in a row. This figure is lower than 6,082 and 6,174 cases of the previous 2 days. Meanwhile, the number of deaths increased by 184 to a total of 1,342 cases, according to the Robert Koch Institute. Currently, Germany reported a total of 91,714 cases as of April 5. 10. Japan considered turning Olympic Village into COVID-19 hospital. Tokyo Mayor Yuriko Koike, on April 4, said it was considering turning part of the 15,000-bed Olympic Village into a field hospital to treat COVID-19 patients, while it was vacated because the Olympics were postponed. According to Koike, this is just a solution to the disease. The government is also considering buying a hotel and turning it into a hospital. Our newsletter is now over. Thank you for always watching and supporting our videos. Knowledge of coronavirus, channel and travel for all fantage respectfully, and see you in the next video.